How did I do that? Captain, I think it's time we talked about a promotion.
We don't have time for this, Vulcan. We need to move out before the rest of them get here.
The passes are probably crawling with them already.
There's a passage to the other side of the mountain. It will lead us to the swamp.
The swamp? Oh, that sounds fun. Hey, did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously, I fried that thing. I saved our asses, and you're all just, hey, what's for lunch?
I said shut it, Vulcan.
Thou hast fled.
What the?
Thou didst hold the power to face the necromancers, yet thou didst flee.
I had no choice.
No choice. Hast thou even thought of choosing? Thou art fled like a thief, and thou hast left me, the shadow of myself, trapped here in this prison.
I did not create this situation. I'm not even sure I understand what has happened.
The hour for questions is past. Thou must act. It is I who will suffer for thy cowardice. I who will pay for thine fault. I who will face extinction. And if I must die, if the flame is extinguished, our world will die as well.
I will not let the flame die. I am in a war against these necromancers, and at last I have the power to fight them.
What dost thou hope to accomplish in this ridiculous human shell? As it is now, it is useless to us. The flame is not a toy for mewling infants. It exists to reign. Its power must not be stolen from thee. We must reconquer the world heart as swiftly as we may.
Hey, Vulcan, enough of your daydreaming. Move your ass, huh?
Buffalo.
Vulcan, you hear me? Pull your finger out.
Huh? Yeah, I hear you. My head feels like a bomb went off in it.
Well, shake it off. We're still not at the end of this stinking swamp, and I'm not gonna carry you all the way to the village.
Anyway, how come Hawk isn't the one with me here? He's the lead scout. I always go with him.
Hawk is covering the back of the line, so this time, I'm the one who goes with you. You'll get over it.
Let's go.
You lot are about as discreet as a herd of hunchbacks.
I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead?
Not yet. But with an arrow sticking out of your throat, I'm certain that even a chatterbox like you could do a passable impression.
And you'd be the next one down.
Possibly. Perhaps I should aim for the largest target first.
Not if you want to keep both your balls.
What have we here? Buffalo in person. Well, that's a good sign.
What's going on here? Who's the scrag with the pointy ears?
Thanks for noticing. I try to keep them sharp. I am called Raelmont, and I gather the red-faced fat belly with the filthy beard is none other than the famous Elric, leader of the Freeborn Blades.
They call me the Captain.
All the Freeborn Blades call you Captain Elric. I have no doubt that they do. As for me, I've never had much interest in titles or in military protocol. I judge people by their deeds.
His rank was granted in the field. You seem like you know enough about the Freeborn Blades to know what that means.
I have enough knowledge of your history to know that your leader has made a name for himself. So, yes, call him what you will. The fact that he is your captain concerns only you and those availing themselves of your services.
That's enough! We're not going to stand here bullshitting all night. Just what the fuck are you doing here, Raelmont, you horse-tongued bastard?
Looking for you. Well, I began by searching for the Red Scribes. Prince Arundel is wounded. We had to withdraw to Valvanor, where I learned that you were expected. I just wanted to make sure you found your way there.
This is not my first walk in the wilds, arsewipe. As you can see, I'm on the right path, and we've nearly reached our destination.
Captain, those creatures I told you about this morning are gathering nearby. They're probably getting ready to attack us.
Ah, well, those are called chrysalids. They wait until they have gathered enough numbers, and then they overwhelm you. And it would seem your little group is attracting a whole swarm to the village.
Well, we'll give them a welcome.
Actually, in spite of themselves, these creatures do an excellent job of keeping Deadwalker scouts away without raising any suspicions. If we allow them to gather here and then massacre them, I fear we'll be moving their territory a bit too close to Valvanor, which will lead to our being discovered sooner or later. I suggest we send 1 or 2 men back. This will keep them separated and occupied while the rest make it to the village. I'm ready to volunteer, if you fear I might try and slip away. I know the area well.
Sounds like a plan to me. Vulcan, you're on it.
I want to go too. The animals and plants in this swamp are extraordinary. And the venom of these chrysalids seems very interesting. I'd love to get a chance to observe them more closely.
Sybil, that is out of the question. Have you lost your mind? It's too dangerous.
Come on, let her off the leash. It'll be good for her. I promise I'll bring her back in one piece.
Vulcan, rule number 2.
We'll see you at the village.
Sybil!
See you later.
They're all around us. I have to make some notes on them.
Really? He's not normally much of a talker. Did you torture him or something? Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
So Alas is your father?
Yes. And yes, he is the leader of the Red Scribes.
That's handy for you.
You are so predictable. Daddy's little girl can do whatever she wants, right? Don't fool yourself. I'm endlessly having to prove myself more than any other scribe. My father doesn't treat me... Yes, of course. But I'm going...
Can you tell me more about...
Of course. The Red Scribes are an order of sages. Our quest...
And so you know about magic?
We study magic from an essentially theoretical viewpoint, even though some of us practice healing magic. But we have nothing to do with the destructive power magic.
I see. But that doesn't mean you...
Obviously, especially now. Any knowledge which would help us turn this war around would... But according to our archives, we were already...
Oh, really? What do you know about the...
As much as it is possible to know without having... In some ways, they're quite fascinating, even...
Perfect. How do we kill him?
If I knew that, do you think I would keep it to myself? We know that there are 7 lords. Black Storm, Lady Crystal, Marshal Winters, the White Lady, Lord...
Everybody knows that. We've had our ass...
For sure. But in the past, there were more of them. Some scrolls talk of 9 or a dozen, even if... Of course it's confusing. And I doubt they would have freely...
Where did they come from?
Most people believe that the Lord... But I have found certain scrolls that they are originally from a region far to the north of Vertiel. For a long time, the beginning of their conquest is quite recent. We all think that the war started 10 years ago, but in fact, it is much longer. It took them a long time to escape from their region of origin.
You had me going there for a moment. I'm sorry, but...
But you're wrong. The dwarves did exist.
Right. And I bet they also massacred all those...
You know that dragons and goblins don't exist.
Do they have any weaknesses?
Not that I know of. All of the Ice Lords, they have an unlimited army. If they...
But in spite of all of this, you think...
I do. We often imagine the Ice Lords as a vast megalithic power, but that's not true. In fact, they desperately hunger for power. Just because they pooled their powers to create the Deadwalker army doesn't mean they like each other. Their balance of power is precarious. As soon as they are done with destroying Vertiel, they'll probably start killing each other.
Sure, but that doesn't help us much if we have to wait until they're...
Perhaps there is a way to stir up the tensions between them.
Let's change the subject. Do you know what happened to me?
I'm still searching for an explanation.
And what was the god's damn ritual supposed to...
The Red Scribes have always had quite limited magical skills. I believe that the ritual was meant to increase their magic, but instead of channeling pure energy into each of the scribes, the ritual called forth a conscience that settled in you.
Your father called it a demon. How come I got stuck with it?
A demon? That reminds me of the old texts, but I couldn't say if that's what it is. You were standing right there, so that...
Well, that's just great.
I would dearly like... But even though I have searched through all the texts I have here, I can find no reference to anything like this experience of yours. But until we have found out more, you must try to... Do not allow it to get comfortable. We don't know what its intentions are, or how powerful...
So then, any result from the study of all these...
I have discovered a few things about the small chrysalids. They are much faster, but it seems that they can only attack from close up, using their pinchers. I also noticed that the medium-sized chrysalids were slower than small ones, but they, however, can fire tiny
So then... So then, any result from this...
Well, I'd really like to meet some of these creatures.
What can you tell me about the world?
Many of the people on Vertiel believe that the world... There are many different beliefs from one region to another, but most of them have more in common.
The World Heart is where life and prosperity are born.
If we were to imagine Vertiel as a living being, the World Heart is... It's what keeps the world alive. It beats, and if you wish, I can try to learn more about it.
We need to talk about your combat stuff.
What do you want me to...
You can't just defend yourself. You've got to go out and hit those
I will do what I can, but it's not really my specialty.
We need to talk about
What do you want me to do?
I know you want to help me, but you gotta stay alive to do that. Think of defending your...
You're right. I will try to... I don't think this is the right direction. taken over again here in the swamp. But I sense there is something else. Wait to discover all the species that live here. There is so much to be learned.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
I'd like to ask you a few...
What you want to know?
So then,
Well, I'd really... I hear they call you Vulcan? Why is that? It's
Look,
amazing we
all
have
us
no
freeborn
record
blades
of
have a
these
nickname.
animals.
We leave the past behind, and whatever we were before doesn't matter in the company.
So what do you do now then?
You know, I... blow things up. Stuff like that.
I still haven't thanked you for everything you did at the temple.
Well, same here, I think. Now, what did you people do to me anyway? Where does this power come from?
Your captain asked my father the same questions. I have no idea what happened, I swear it. But we're going to do everything we can to find out.
This guy's fucking fearless. Let's help him out before it goes bad for him.
Despite his determination, the knight was in an awkward position. He thanks the mercenary for having assisted him in his task. If he can trust the rumors that he hears around the village, he has before him the one called Vulcan. He has the pleasure of welcoming the mercenary.
And you are?
The knight is called Raelmont, last survivor of the Order of the End. The new arrival is most welcome.